David Shipley apologized for approving the cartoon and removed it. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Huge makeover coming up at the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. Overall, it will cost more than $240 million. Authorities say the work should be completed by late 2025. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season and gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
It's not easy.
I had been so excited to come home,
but it's harder than I thought.
Join us at communityofveterans.org
and connect to others who are going through the same thing.
Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the High School Football Scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network. Great to have you with us as we move into round two of the high school football playoffs across South Carolina, keeping an eye on all the final scores that are coming in, and also we'll get to some reporters out in the fields tonight. And, of course, with fewer games, fewer scores, more time to hear from the reporters and more time to ring up coaches across the state. They actually enjoy hearing from us this time of the year because if you get a call from the scoreboard show this time of the year, that means you've won a playoff game and you're moving on. And so that makes them very happy. On top of that, we're keeping an eye on basketball. Clemson and South Carolina both playing at this hour, and we'll update Clemson and UAB. UAB is leading Clemson. They're playing up in the Asheville area, 32-31. UAB leading Clemson, 5:11 to play in the half. In Charlotte, South Carolina leads Virginia Tech 24-17 with 6:26 to go in the half there. But our focus is on the high school football, and David Shelton will be joining us in a little bit from down in the Low Country. We've had some shockers tonight, as you might expect when you get into round two of the playoffs. Let's give you what we've got so far. And I guess a shocker to some, maybe not to others. I'll put it in the surprise category. Dutch Fork defeats T.L. Hanna tonight up in Anderson, 31-28. You know, for T.L. Hanna or anybody, their worst nightmare was to face Dutch Fork in the playoffs, a healthy Dutch Fork that had its issues during the regular season. Waiting in the weeds, as we've been talking about, waiting in the weeds. And tonight, they struck 31-28 over T.L. Hanna. Gaffney, a winner over Clover, 24-12. White Knoll, big over Fort Dorchester, 50-7. And Carolina Forest beats West Ashley. Correction. No, that's correct. 28-21. Carolina Forest 28, West Ashley 21. To the 4A playoffs, we've got Irmo, another big offensive night. What did they score last week? 85? They scored 55 tonight, 55-24 over Myrtle Beach. And James Island defeats Hartsville 45-21. In the 3A playoffs, this has to be considered a surprise. Camden goes on the road and beats Dillon 35-21. The Bulldogs over the Wildcats 35-21. Gilbert defeats Hanahan 49-35. Brooklyn Casey downs Philip Simmons 34-14. And Crestwood, having a great year, shuts out Beaufort 44-0. To the 2A playoffs now. Gray Collegiate defeats Chesney 62-14. Hampton County 48, Andrews 14 in this one. Zion Dobson, one of the finalists for Mr. Football in South Carolina, he scored 6 touchdowns for Hampton County. And Oceanside Collegiate 49, Woodland nothing. In the 1A playoffs, St. Joseph's 7, Louisville nothing, and Bamberg Earhart 41, East Clarendon 13. In the Skeeza playoffs, 4A, Hammond 33, Cardinal Newman 20. In 3A, Wilson Hall 21, Florence Christian 7. In 2A, Bethesda Academy 32, Northside Christian 6. In 1A, Patrick Henry 17, Dorchester Academy 13. All right, let's check again now, see if we have any new scores in. Those are the ones we've gotten plotted onto our scoreboards. We got some more coming in. Abbeville, Newberry. It was pretty tight. Tight enough, but Abbeville wins it 41-28 over Newberry. South Florence, high-scoring game with Richland Northeast, and the Bruins win it 50-20. So those are the two most recent scores that we have in. Let me take a look at another scoring media outlet and see if we have some other scores, or maybe some scores of games that are still in progress. We can give you some third, fourth quarter type scores if we see something that we haven't already mentioned to you. As I scroll down, yes, I see Somerville has beaten Berkeley 34-14, and Sumter over Stratford 27-6. Hillcrest and Burns deadlocked at 24 in the fourth quarter. J.L. Mann, this might go down, at least in recent history, go down as biggest win for J.L. Mann as they beat Spartanburg 17-7, just beating Spartanburg in the playoffs. That's big enough for a program like J.L. Mann. As we continue scrolling down here, let's see if there's anything else that we have that's new. Westside, a winner over York tonight, 49-13. Northwestern big over Greenwood, 55-7. Greenville High edges Greer 24-21. In the fourth quarter, it's Barnwell 31, Marion 25. In the fourth quarter, Strom Thurmond 46, Keenan 14. Silver Bluff has beaten Fairfield Central. What a game here. Silver Bluff 22, Fairfield Central 21. Cross over Allendale Fairfax 28-18. Bamberg Earhart over East Clarendon 41-13. Johnsonville beats Lakeview 35-14. Southside Christian 21, Calhoun County 7. Blackville Hilda 28, Wagner Sally nothing. Christ Church 43, McBee 21. Lawrence Manning defeats Porter Gowd 48-20. Wilson Hall over Florence Christian 21-7. In the third quarter, Hilton Head Christian 28, Pinewood Prep 24. Williamsburg Academy 41, Buford Academy 6. Patrick Henry 17, Dorchester Academy 13. Lee Academy 35, Thomas Hayward 19. Chester 58, Chapman 24. Daniel beat Wren 35-21. Gilbert over Hanahan 49-35. Clennon all over Broome tonight 38-7. Belton Honeypath downs Pendleton 44-28. And that is it for the scores that we have in at this point in time. So we're up to date on all of that. So let's go ahead and jump to some reporters standing out in their fields tonight. We have a hot call. It's Billy Baker from the High School Sports Report with the hot call tonight on location with a winning team and a winning coach. Billy, welcome in. What do you have?
Phil, I want to give a shout out to the Skeeza Championships this weekend at Charleston Southern. They'll be Friday and Saturday at CSU. I'm standing by with Coach David Rankin from Lee Academy, who'll be going back to the finals for probably the fourth straight year. And tonight he defeats Thomas Hayward 35-19. Keith West, the former quarterback at Wake Forest and Sumter High School, his son tonight for Lee Academy, scores 3 touchdowns, rushes about 80 yards. Great game. Tony O'Banner, the sophomore that's getting some serious interest from Georgia, Clemson, and South Carolina as only a sophomore, being recruited as a running back, played quarterback, had another outstanding game, but you cannot beat a team by yourself. Lee Academy rushed about 7 different running backs, and David Rankin has been coaching 40 years. He's back in the finals for the 4th straight year. But the games will be played this Friday and Saturday at Charleston Southern University, and I give you David Rankin playing for his 4th state title. And in my opinion, Keith West's youngest son, his senior, William West, was the star of the game amongst a lot of stars, 3 touchdowns tonight. Here is Coach Rankin live from Ridgeland.
Thank you, Billy. Hello, Coach.
Hello.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I thought we dominated the line of scrimmage, and that was key in the football game. And, if you block and tackle better than the other team, you usually win.
No question about that, but Billy seems to be pretty high on your quarterback. Tell us more about Mr. West and what stood out about him to you.
He plays wing back and quarterback in a wildcat situation, and he had to play a bunch of quarterback tonight because I'm starting quarterback rolled his ankle in the first quarter. So he played a lot more quarterback than he normally plays, and he had a good game. We didn't turn it over none. He didn't get the reps at quarterback he probably should at practice, but he did a great job tonight. And super proud of him with 3 touchdowns.
I bet. What about your defense tonight? Good job holding Thomas Hayward to 19.
Yes, sir. We played real well. We put, we wanted O'Banner to have to throw the ball, and we loaded 7 people up in the box, and we didn't stop him, but we slowed him up enough.
So you advance to the state championship next week. You're going to play Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry beat Dorchester Academy 17-13. I know it's early for you to think about it, but what about that matchup?
Well, that's going to be a tough matchup for us. They beat us at their place, 3rd game of the season, 47-21. But, we graduated 4 senior linemen last year, and we're a little different football team we were then.
So how does it feel for you to be back in a state championship setting, a chance to win another championship?
It's great. I'm happy for our kids. Our kids, we win games from January to August in the weight room and the things we do, and people don't understand what these kids put in. They bought in, and we've got a great program right now, and everything's rolling like it should.
I tell you, Ski's 1A, and of course there's 8-man, which is even smaller rosters. But for you, 1A, about how many kids do you dress on a given night?
I dressed 40 tonight. I brought up 8 8th graders. I got 33 out of 51 play football in the school.
33 out of 51 males are playing football?
Yeah, we got 9 through 12. We got 51 boys, and 33 of them play football.
What do the other 18 do?
Don't play football, but I don't know what to say.
I hear you.
We got them all. Everybody in the hall that's supposed to be playing. I promise you.
You got it. Hey, congrats once again. Good luck next week. Thanks to Billy for getting you on to us, and we'll see what happens next week.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach David Rankin from Lee Academy. David Shelton is joining us now. He is connected and ready to go from the Low Country. And how about David Rankin and Lee Academy knocking off old Thomas Hayward, 35-19?
It's like death and taxes. You could pretty much bet that Robert E. Lee, or now it's Lee Academy.
Yeah.
But Coach Rankin has been doing it for a long time, and those cats just know how to win. They know how to win late in the year, and they got it done again tonight.
He's not related to, the Hall of Fame Coach Rankin from Johnsonville and Marion days, is he?
I think, I hate to say yes, I think he is maybe a cousin. I thought I asked him that several years ago. I can't remember, but, if your last name's Rankin, you're probably a pretty good football coach.
Sounds that way. All right, tell us about your game tonight. You had the James Island affair. Fill us in on what happened there.
But James Island wins the game 45-21. Hartsville came into this game averaging over 300 yards rushing per game, and it was James Island that ran the football all night long. well over 350 yards rushing. They had 360 yards at halftime, and Hartsville just had no answer for them. James Island's offensive line was blowing them off the ball. They got a bevy of backs. They got a good quarterback who's going to play in college somewhere, good option guy that can throw it a little bit. James Island's undefeated, and they're going to host Irmo next week. And, a lot of people have been circling that one on their schedule for a long time.
And James Island, we had talked to them about you still with us, David?
I'm here.
Oh.
I was getting instructions from a police officer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to interfere with that. One more thing on James Island, though. The thing that caught our attention about them earlier in the year was the play of their defense. They were just outstanding on defense, but they had the offense cranked up, especially the ground game.
Well, their defense is good, and Hartsville had 300 yards at halftime, and they had 21 points. But the second half, the James Island defense just totally dominated Hartsville. They didn't give up a point. They stopped them on fourth down a couple times. They didn't have a voice that he challenged them. He felt like it was going to get into a 42-40 type game if his defense didn't show up, and they showed up in the second half. They're really athletic. That's going to be that game with Irmo next week is going to be a really good football game. Two really good undefeated teams.
Looking forward to it. Okay, let's go to the break, and we'll come back and get more from David and get more scores in for you as well here on the high school football scoreboard. We're off and running with the scores coming in and the reports coming in and talking with coaches. It's what we do during playoff time here on the scoreboard, and we'll update you on some more scores as they become available to us here on the high school football scoreboard. We'll update things and come back with more in just a moment here on the high school scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
Looking for a way to fight back against inflation? One viable way to help your money stay relevant during inflation is through investing. To a new investor, investing can feel like a puzzle. With so many pieces to consider, it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance along the way, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. When you're ready to find the pieces to your financial plan, call 866-739-7064 to speak with one of our specialists, or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn about how we can help you identify the key pieces to your financial plans. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC, and not NCUA insured. Not guaranteed by credit union and may lose value.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is one of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at experiencecolumbiasc.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
All right, welcome back, everybody. High school football score. And I know others are trying to get through and tell us about their games, and we'll pass along some new scores as they come to us. Let me just give a quick check here of the score stream and see if there's anything new to pass along. Sumter beat Stratford. I think I mentioned that, 27-6. Greenville 24, Greer 21. Andrew Jackson 51, King Street 20. Oh, David, I think your words were tonight Lancaster would not beat Lucy Beckham. Final Lancaster 38, Lucy Beckham 20. What is going on with Lancaster?
Well, apparently they've gotten healthy. I was talking to someone tonight before the game that they had some injuries early, but, you know, it still goes back, and great for them. I mean, you know, this is an unbelievable memory that they're making. They got to go to South Florence next week, and you know, they will be the underdogs, but, you know, and as we were talking on Sports Talk tonight, should 1 and 9 teams be in the playoffs? And here they are now; they're 3 and 9.
Yeah.
You know, so but that doesn't mean that 1 and 9 teams should still be in the playoffs. One outlier does not make a point, in my opinion. I will still say, you know, 1 and 9 teams should not be in the South Carolina High School League football playoff.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Lancaster, because they went on the road and beat Ridgeview, a number 1 seed. They go on the road and beat Lucy Beckham, who I saw this year, and they're a pretty solid team. But you know, good for them. I mean, and you know, I'm not gonna say a negative word. I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose to South Florence. We'll just wait and see what happens.
That'll be Bruins on Bruins next week. Cross beat Allendale Fairfax 28-14. Back to the calls. We go to Bruce McNeil, who has got a happy story from his side about those Sumter Gamecocks as they beat Stratford tonight. Hello, Bruce.
Hey, Phil, great game for Sumter tonight. Great complimentary football. John Peoples, 3 more touchdowns. He now has 32 for the season. That ties a school record set by Jamacia Jackson many years ago. They got another passing touchdown from Pate Merchant tonight to Jameer Bay. But the defense does it again for Sumter after giving up a touchdown in the second quarter that tied the game. They got their passing touchdown to go ahead late in the second quarter, and then had the third quarter kickoff and drove that one down and got another score. But the first 4 series for Stratford in the second half, 3 and out, interception, and that led to turnover or points off the turnover, and then another 3 and out. And then their final drive, they got a couple of first downs as the clock ran out. But just a great defensive effort by Sumter, just really walling up. You know, they bent and bowed but did not break really in any of the drives, and just that offense got great field position. The running game very dominant again, but the defense just swarms and makes plays on the running game, and the secondary had a lot of tips and PVUs tonight. Just a really great team effort, and now they get the chance to move on to White Knoll, it sounds like.
And White Knoll looks mighty good. Pretty tough tonight. White Knoll puts like 50 on the board.
Well, defense might be the story next week. Sounds like they've got a really good stalwart D, and maybe as these games go a little bit longer, some of these scores and the differences in between the scores will come down a bit.
Well, we shall see. It gets tougher as you move forward. Bruce, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Yeah, White Knoll beat Fort D 50-7. Sumter wins 27-6. So that's that matchup in 5A. Somerville beat Berkeley 34-14. Carolina Forest beat West Ashley 28-21. There's that matchup for you. Dutch Fork beat TL Hannah David. Stand by for that, 31-28. Gaffney beat Clover 24-12. That'll be that matchup. And Man beat Spartanburg 17-7. Last we heard, Hillcrest and Burns were deadlocked at 24, waiting to get a final there. Real quick, David, about 40 seconds. Thoughts on these matchups coming up in 5A?
Well, I think we're pretty much where we thought we'd be. I think everybody, you know, the big game tonight obviously was Dutch Fork and Hannah. And as I said on Sports Talk, you know, Hannah's got to someday they got to beat Dutch Fork. But people that were counting out Dutch Fork back in September are they're finding out that Dutch Fork healthy and in the playoffs is going to be very good. But Somerville probably didn't look great tonight from the guy that I was talking to that was there, but they won. And they played Carolina Forest in the season opener this year and only won by a touchdown. So that is not going to be an automatic win for Somerville. They're going to have to play. But White and All White, I think with their defense, I think they're going to give Sumter a fit.
All right, David, stand by. Got to hit a break, and we'll be back. Blackville Hilda beat Wagner Sally tonight in the 1A playoffs, 28-20. Update the basketball at the half. UAB leads Clemson 42-39. At the half, USC leads Virginia Tech 38-31. More reports, more scores coming up after this break on the High School Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
It's November, the time to knock out that Christmas wish list. No better place to start than at Shooter's Choice on Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. Come and experience their new showroom. It's massive, it's awesome. And now, shopping is an easier experience for you. The selection of new firearms and accessories for your wish list, well, it couldn't be any better than it is right now at Shooter's Choice. Hey, you're not sure which hunting or home defense firearm is the best for you this holiday season? Let the experts at Shooter's Choice guide you to your best decision. See, their staff is hands-on with experience. They know guns, they hunt, they shoot. They can answer your questions on personal defense weapons, on rifles, pistols, and even shotguns. Plus, November brings you great promotions. Henry rifles, CVA rifles, Bergara rifles. They'll all be visiting to spice up your seasonal wish list with unbelievable discounts. Check out Shooter's Choice on Facebook for daily deals. And if you're undecided, then gift cards are perfect. They make great stocking stuffers. And listen, there's plenty of ammo in stock right now. And trust me, another ammo shortage is right around the corner. You want to get that taken care of. For your Christmas wish list, make your first choice. Your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
Her profiles of some past mass shooters. Anti-Israel protesters have shut down Grand Central Terminal again. There are reports that arrests may be coming soon. This is SRN News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, switching to MediShare saves about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the member satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. MediShare is a proven thing, too. For over 30 years, it's a Christian community of more than 400,000 members. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, you'll get another $150 savings. So I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes.
Hey, everybody. I'm David Jolly of the Higgins & Halloran Insurance Group. When you think about insurance, I ask that you think of me. I'm homegrown in the Midlands. I live in Lexington. I'm a lifelong learner, teacher, coach, and friend. There are many insurance agencies out there, and there's even more agents. How am I different? I served 20-plus years as a coach and teacher. I'll help you understand it. I've done this for a long time. I've been there for folks during horrible times in their lives. It's not easy, but it's when I can help the most. I'll explain the right insurance coverage, and I'll try to sell it to you. Best of all, I'm an independent insurance agent. I want to be your trusted insurance advisor. I have no quotas to fill. I work for you, and I'll find you the best and most affordable coverage to fully protect you, your family, and your business. I'm always available to my clients, who I get to know as friends. I can help with personal insurance, like your homes, vehicles, or boats, your commercial, for business owners. And it doesn't matter how big or small your company is, I want to help. So when you think about insurance, think of me, David Jolly, of the Higgins & Halloran Insurance Group. Online at higginsandhalloran.com or give me a call at 803-850-0054.
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2023 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
How would you like to get high-speed internet for your home for less than $2 a day? That's right. For about $50 a month, you'll get lightning fast internet. Are you paying less than $50 a month right now for your internet? Then call Whole Home Connect right now for blazing fast internet at $50 a month with no price increases, no hidden fees, no contracts, no upfront costs, no equipment fees. It's a great deal. And guess what? You can try it for 15 days. If you don't like it, you get your money back. But you're going to love it, and you're going to love the price. Internet for your home for $50 a month. That's less than $2 a day. Plus, no contracts, no upfront costs, no equipment fees, and our 15-day guarantee. Call now. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
All right, welcome back, everybody. High School Football Scoreboard brought to you by Founders, Federal Credit Union. Phil Kornblut, Josh Cohen here at our studios in downtown Columbia. David Shelton with us from the Low Country. Bunch of folks waiting on the lines to get to us, as we should do for those just tuning in because the audience turns over. Let me give you the scores once again. In the 5A playoffs, Dutch Fork 31, TL Hanna 28, Gaffney 24, Clover 12, Man 17, Spartanburg 7. Hillcrest has beaten Burns 27-24. White Knoll 50, Fort Dorchester 7, Sumter 27, Stratford 6, Somerville 34, Berkeley 14, Carolina Forest 28, West Ashley 21. Through the 4As, Greenville 24, Greer 21, Northwestern 55, Greenwood 7, Westside 49, York 13, Midland Valley 24, South Point 17, South Florence 50, Richland Northeast 20, Lancaster 38, Lucy Beckham 20, Irmo 55, Myrtle Beach 24, James Island 45, Hartsville 21. 3A, Daniel 35, Wren 21, Chester 58, Chapman 24, Belton Honeypath 44, Pendleton 28, Clinton 38, Broome 7, Camden 35, Dillon 21, Gilbert 49, Hanahan 35, Brooklyn Casey 34, Phillips Simmons 14, Crestwood 44, Beaufort nothing. 2A, Abbeville 41, Newberry 28, Silver Bluff 22, Fairfield Central 21, Strom Thurmond 53, Keenan 20, Gray Collegiate 62, Chesney 14, Hampton County 58, Andrews 14, Oceanside Collegiate 49, Woodland nothing. Barnwell beat Marion 31-25. And we're still looking to get that final on Kingstree, Andrew Jackson. Unless I mentioned it earlier, we just haven't plotted it. So let's see if we can find that one there, Josh, and fill out the 2A bracket. 1As are all in. Christchurch 43, McBee 21, Blackville Hilda 28, Wagner Sally nothing, Southside Christian 21, Calhoun County 7, St. Joseph 7, Louisville nothing, Johnsonville 35, Lakeview 14, Lamar 23, Carvers Bay 20, Bamberg Earhart 41, East Clarendon 13, and Cross 28, Allendale Fairfax 14. Skeeza, we've got Hammond 33, Cardinal Newman 20. That's in 4A. In 3A, it's Wilson Hall 21, Florence Christian 7. In 2A, Bethesda 32, Northside Christian 6. In 1A, Lee Academy 35, Thomas Hayward 19, and Patrick Henry 17, Dorchester Academy 13. Still working to get some other finals. What you got there, Josh?
I got Andrew Jackson 51, Kingstree 20.
Very good. Andrew Jackson 51, Kingstree 20. So everything is filled out except for a few spots there in Skeeza. So let's work on getting those completed. In the meantime, let's get back to some folks waiting to give us reports tonight. Really appreciate you guys calling in and giving us reports from your game. So we're going to go to, is it Dennis Brunson? Dennis Brunson is with us from the High School Sports Report. Looks like he covered a Skeezer game tonight. Dennis, what'd you have?
I've got the other 4A game for you, Phil. Lawrence Manning beat Portugal 48-20. And so it'll be a rematch between Hammond and Lawrence Manning in the 4A state championship game next week. And LMA improved to 10-2. They had a great game. They forced turnovers on Portugal's first two possessions and deep in Portugal territory, and they turned them into points, and that they took control of the game, and that really took Portugal out of what it does is running the football between J.J. Flood and their big old fullback Biggerstaff. I can't remember his first name, but they never really got back into the game. They Lawrence Manning got up a 21-0 lead. Portugal scored to make it 21-7, and then they held Lawrence Manning. And they looked like they were at midfield with about 3 minutes left, and they were facing fourth, and I think it was 3, and they decided to go for it, and they didn't get it. Lawrence Manning in turn went deep. Tyler June to Josiah Burson to get them within about the 5-yard line, and they scored, and that made it a 3 touchdown game lead at the half, and that really put Portugal behind the 8 ball. But they got the ball to start the second half. Another turnover deep in their own territory, and the Swamp Cats punched it in 35-7, or 34-7, excuse me. And that was pretty much it. They had a dominant game. I thought Lawrence Manning played really well. The two teams played during the regular season, and LMA only beat them by 2 points in that game. So. They played really well. They're going to obviously they got Hammond next week. They're going to have to play really well to I think to beat Hammond, because they lost to Hammond 20-6 earlier in the year. I think it was the third week of the season when they lost to them, and so and Hammond was still in the midst of ironing out some issues at that point. They've gotten better since, but I think Lawrence Manning has gotten a lot better at that since then as well. Obviously, Hammond's the favorite, but I think Lawrence Manning has much more than a puncher's chance. I think they've got to play well, but I think they can hang with Hammond. I really do.
Dennis, thanks very much. We appreciate that. We'll get David's thoughts on that matchup. Lawrence Manning and Hammond. We'll get that in a little bit. Got a 2A final. Williamsburg Academy 41, Buford Academy 6. So Williamsburg and Bethesda will play for the 2A championship next week. Thank you, Dennis Brunson, High School Sports Report, with that report. Let's go to Garrett Mitchell. Garrett Mitchell. I know Garrett, now that he's free to roam, looks for the best game or the best player he can go watch in the playoffs, and you picked out a good one tonight by going to watch Midland Valley and South Point, and you got to see Travion Dunbar from Midland Valley, and they win at 24-17, beating South Point to advance. To my memory, might be as far as Midland Valley has gotten in the playoffs in many years. I can ask David that in a moment. But, Garrett, what'd you think?
Well, I tell you what, Phil, it was certainly one of the better games that I've seen in person in quite some time. And not to get off track, I believe it was 2016, somewhere in that time frame, Midland Valley played South Point for the state championship at Williams-Brice. And it was the Stallions who had a pretty easy go of it that afternoon. I was actually there. And so Midland Valley certainly got their they exercised the ghosts of that afternoon tonight. But what a great ball game. South Point won the toss and deferred. And on the very first play of the ball game, Trayvon Dunbar takes it right up the middle, 80 yards to the house. So it was off to the races early, and it looked like South Point would just never get anything going offensively. And Midland Valley, for all of the ballyhooing about their run game and Dunbar, which is all very much justified, their defense is really good too. And they pretty much stymied the Stallions in the first half. And I believe, if my memory serves, I am getting old, but it was 16-7, Midland Valley at halftime. coming out in the third quarter, South Point's able to kick a field goal, makes it 16-10, and that remained the score until about 8 minutes to play in the ball game. It was to a point where the South Point defensive line had essentially had taken control of the ball game. Dunbar wasn't finding any running room whatsoever. South Point gets it back. They finally connect on a deep ball. They'd been trying it the entire ball game. They finally got one to hit. And that long, it was a 62-yard touchdown, I believe it was. The point after it gave South Point the lead at 17-16. Both sides traded possessions. Midland Valley was able to get it back with about 3.5 minutes to play, a little close to 3 minutes to play. And on the second play of that drive, Trayvon Dunbar takes the handoff, bounces off the left side, and goes 71 yards to the house. Ended up being the game winner. The 2-point conversion after that was good. And the Valley defense stood up. The Mustangs stuffed South Point on a run on 4th and 3 from their own 38. And Midland Valley's 12-0 now, and the party's going on still here in Graniteville.
Man, I tell you, a lot of people waiting for Dunbar to get an offer from South Carolina or Clemson. You see any recruiting coaches, any college coaches on the sideline?
No, I didn't. And I came down here. A buddy of mine that lives down this way, he and I went to the game, and we just sat up on the top row of the bleachers on the South Point side. So we were content to be spectators tonight and just enjoy a good ball game. And I think everybody walked away with their money's worth tonight. It's just that the fans in blue and orange were a little bit more happy.
Yeah, good for them. And thank you. We appreciate it. Go find a good game next week for us.
Well, I will do my best. I may have basketball obligations at Woodruff, so I'm not quite sure that I'll make it to a game next week. But if I do, then I'll certainly call in and give you the lowdown.
Look forward to it. Thank you, sir. All right, Garrett Mitchell, appreciate the report. David, what about this Midland Valley team? What about this Trayvon Dunbar kid?
Well, I mean, he's good. He's a good running back. They're a good team. They do play really good defense. I think that does get lost in the hoopla of their running game. But, they're undefeated. So you got to consider them a candidate to get to the finals. We'll see. I think the upper state, who would they play? Would they play Belton Honey at that?
Let me check my handy dandy sheet here. Midland Valley will play West Side.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, 4A. Yeah, I got my lines crossed. So that's going to be a tough one because West Side can score. So that'll be a tough, thing for their defense. But, when you got a back like Dunbar, who, he goes 80 yards on the first play of the game, and they bottle him up, then he goes 70 yards. When you got that kind of guy in the backfield, you always got a shot because he can go at any time. So that will be – I would be surprised if that game doesn't get in the 40s next week.
Okay, let's go to and thanks for that report from Garrett Mitchell. Let's get one more in before our break. Thomas Grant on hand for Irmo and Myrtle Beach. And Thomas, welcome in. It was another big offensive night for Irmo, man. They are just burning up the bulbs on the scoreboard, 55-24. Just kind of give us an overview.
Well, when this particular game, this was their highest point total that they allowed this season, the 24 points. Passing the 21 they gave up to Hartsville. But we find out all year with Irmo, it seems like there's somebody that's going to come up big in terms of scoring. I mean, tonight, of course, A.J. Brand had 4 touchdowns, 3 passing. But the big guy in the number tonight was Telvin Smith. I mean, he sort of gets lost in the shadow behind guys like A.J. Brand, Jaden Allen Hendricks, and also Donovan Murph. But he's also the second leading receiver on his team. But he's also become their top kick returner, and he had 2 kick returns tonight that turned the game around. He had one where he bobbled the ball at the 7 and ended up going up the middle all the way for a 93-yard touchdown. And then he also had one for 47 yards that helped really seal the win. I mean, at one point it was 14-10. It looked like Myrtle Beach. They really did a lot of different type of formations. They also had a hook and ladder that worked successfully for 67 yards to try to stay in this game. But then once they made it 28, once it was they scored 24 points their last touchdown, Irmo ended up scoring the last 20 points of the game and ended up closing out the victory to improve to 12-0 and to go to the final, to the third round for the first time since 2010.
Good to see Irmo back. Not to take anything away from anybody else, but that's an old traditional power, and been down for a little bit. But boy, they are on the come up, and that's a big win for them over Myrtle Beach. And Thomas, we appreciate you, man. Look to hear from you next week, and good luck with everything you got going on with SC Prep's Red Zone and all that. So thank you for the report. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, but one quick note as well. I know you're going to be talking about Dutch Fork game earlier. Tonight, this was their 18th straight road playoff win. They have not lost. They are 18-2 all time on the road in the playoffs from the Tom Knott, and the last playoff home road playoff loss was in 2012 to JF Burns.
That's impressive. So, that is impressive. All right, Thomas, thank you, my man. We appreciate it. Thomas Grant with the report there on Irmo. And David, we're going to hit the break, and we'll come back and get your thoughts, and we'll get more reports as well. Those of you holding on, hang in there. We'll get to you in just a moment. We've got almost all the scores in. In fact, another couple of Skeeza scores now. Hilton Head Christian beat Pinewood Prep 42-30. That's in 3A. So it will be Wilson Hall and Hilton Head Christian there. And in 8-man, Jeff Davis beat Richard Wynn 28-23. Be right back.
Investing can be like a puzzle. There's so many pieces to consider, and it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. Call 866-739-7064 or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn more about how we can help you take the first step towards reaching your financial goals. Securities offered through LPL Financial.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler Brown. If you or a loved one are over 65 and haven't completed a long-term care planning consultation, now is the time. Did you know that if you aren't able to afford the high cost of skilled care, your assets can be rapidly depleted to only $2,000 unless you plan 5 years in advance? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken and are asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitments that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. And let's go back to our folks waiting to report on games tonight. David Shelton standing by to add more, but guys have been waiting, so let's get to them. Monty Dutton with the Clinton Red Devils. They continue to roll along tonight, Monty, and they played big-time defense. They win 38-7.
Well, this was a very impressive. This is probably Clinton's best game of the season. It's a little bit unusual. Clinton came out in more of a power offense. They put the quarterback under center, which is very rare. And but to give you an example of their defense, Jalen McGill of Broome entered the game with 1,762 yards. Tonight he had 19 yards and 11 carries. The quarterback had over 1,200 yards rushing, and he rushed 12 times for -14. He did hit 15 of 23 passes for 193 yards, but the Centurions were playing from behind from the get-go. And Clinton's quarterback, Deshaun Richardson, hit 10 of 14 for 155 yards. The Red Devils rushed for 181 yards and passed for 155. Caden Crawford caught 6 passes for 102 yards, and Zay Johnson had 3 for 51. So Clinton led 21-0 at half. Gave up a 74-yard pass early in the third quarter, but that didn't faze them, and they scored. It was up to 38-7. The last touchdown was 5:35 to play. And Clinton, by the way, to answer a question that I heard while I was listening, it's Clinton that'll be going to Belton Honey Path next week.
Well, that should be a dandy. Two teams that, Belton Honey Path has a great running back, as we all know. Clinton loves to run the football, as we all know. So should be a heck of a matchup between two teams running the football, I would imagine.
Well, it's going to probably be the same thing because if you look at Broome was a very prolific offensive team, but probably about 80% of their offense came from the quarterback, Kamajay Brackett Brannon, and Jalen McGill, the running back, whereas Clinton, had 7 running backs. Trey Cook was the leader with 11 carries for 85 yards. But Clinton sends a lot of people out into the other team's flank. And so it was I felt kind of stupid because I was so nervous about this game because it really wasn't much drama to it. Clinton took control pretty much from the beginning, and they looked extremely impressive. And they're getting a little healthier as the playoffs go along, and there might be some noise to make yet.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Monty. Monty Dutton having a great football season between his Paladins and his Clinton Red Devils. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully he's not a Carolina Panthers fan and he's being dragged down by those guys. I don't think he is. Thank you, Monty.
No, I would not let this year be besmirched by that.
That's right. You got too much good stuff going. Thank you, sir. Let's go quickly to Hugh Gray with the story on the Newberry-Abbeville game tonight. Pretty good ball game. Hugh, Abbeville, the Panthers, they win by 13, but it looked like the Bulldogs hung in there for a good bit of this ball game.
Well, it was a pretty good ball game at the beginning and at the end. Phil, Abbeville started off the scoring with about 2:16 left in the first quarter. DeMarcus Leach, their quarterback, runs a keeper from about the 1-yard line. It wouldn't be his only score of the night, and it wouldn't be his most exciting. Then Jalewis Haddon for the Panthers scores with 11:10 left in the second quarter, and again with 3:34 left in the second quarter, giving Abbeville a 21-0 lead. But on their next possession, Abbeville on 4th down kicks a punt that results in a -8 yards. It's a -8-yard punt. It's punted across the line of scrimmage and then bounces backwards to Abbeville's 30. Newberry's able to punch it in on a pass from Kenton Caldwell to Caleb Levy to make it 21-7. And that's the way we went to half. But in the third quarter, Leach, one of his most exciting runs of the night, he takes it 64 yards up the middle and then outside and just pours on the speed, making the score 28-7. And just a few minutes later, another 32-yard run by Leach It's 35-7. Abbeville just kind of pouring it on at that point. Lewis Haddon actually scores again, his third touchdown of the game. PAT was blocked with 9:14 to go in the game. It's 41-7. But that's when Newberry kind of came to life with 3rd and 14 on their own 39. Kenton Caldwell connects with Caleb Levy for another touchdown. It's 41-14. On the ensuing kickoff, Abbeville fumbles the kickoff, fumbles the ball. Newberry recovers at the 15. Kenton Caldwell runs a keeper down inside the 5 to score. It's 41-21. And then with about a minute left, Newberry scores again, bringing the final score 41-28
All right.
Abbeville.
Thank you. Great job getting that in. We got to run to a break. Super job with that. We'll be back in just a moment.
The only afternoon local talk radio in Columbia is the Afternoon Drive with Kev. It's all about you. It's your phone calls. It's my challenging topics. All the news, traffic, and weather weekdays, 4 p.m. on The Point.
Press that button, home stew.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Tasha Stevens. Anti-Israel protesters have shut down Grand Central Terminal. There are reports arrests are coming. Some have already taken place. Officials say they hope to resume service around 11:45 tonight. The Cornell University student accused of making threats against Jewish people will not get out of jail before he stands trial. A federal magistrate on Thursday denied bail for 21-year-old Patrick Dye. The judge said the violent anti-Semitic threats Dye is accused of making and his reported struggles with mental health issues reminded her of the profiles of some past mass shooters. A new poll shows a deep divide among Democrats over the president's handling of the Israel-Hamas war.
The poll found 50% of Democrats approve of how President Biden has navigated the conflict, while 46% disapprove, and the two groups diverged substantially in their views of U.S. support for Israel. Biden's support on the issue among Democrats is down slightly from August, as an AP North poll conducted then found that 57% of Democrats approve of his handling and 40% disapproved. Nearly 7 in 10 Democrats approving of Biden's management of the conflict think the U.S. provides the right amount of support to Israel currently. Of those who disapprove, 65% say the U.S. is too supportive of Israel. I'm Norman Hall.
West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin's announcement he won't run for re-election is throwing the door open to speculation he may run for the White House.
Manchin and the group No Labels have been making overtures to each other for months, and that has many speculating his decision not to run for Senate in 2024 could really mean a third-party bid for the White House. That means a host of new worries and strategy sessions for Democrats as they seek to get Joe Biden reelected. Not to mention the impact Manchin's loss will have on his party's efforts to hold on to their slim majority in the Senate. Bob Agnew reporting.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Harry, God has chosen you to have a son.
The greatest story ever told is now an epic Christmas musical for the whole family.
I won the mother found. You are in danger, Mary.
Starring Fiona Paloma, Milo Manheim, Lecrae, Joel Smallbone, and Academy Award nominee Antonio Banderas.
This child, what is his name?
Jesus. Journey to Bethlehem. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters everywhere now. Soundtrack also available. Get tickets now at journeytobethlehem.com.
Hi, Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. Step up your grilling game with our Solaire portable infrared grills. Our compact everywhere is a favorite of RVers and trailer pullers. Solaire infrared provides the quick sear for marks and texture needed to properly finish sous vide. Use a portable alongside your larger conventional grill to create an instant sear zone and more juicy and flavorful food. Learn more at BestHotGrill.com. Affordable, powerful, portable infrared grills at BestHotGrill.com.
96-year-old Korean War veteran Earl Meyer is still waiting for his Purple Heart.
Earl Meyer remembers being injured in June 1951.
When they started dropping mortars on us, and that's when I got hit. I didn't even feel it.
But more than 70 Years later, the Minnesota man is still waiting for the U.S. Army to recognize his injury and to award him a Purple Heart Medal. Meyer says he's provided the Army with documents, but few men in his unit who would have witnessed the battle have survived. An Army review board in April issued what it called a final rejection of Meyer's request for a Purple Heart, citing insufficient documentation. I'm Donna Warder.
The Maryland Zoo's 15-year-old African bull elephant Samson is recovering from a strain of an elephant virus known as EEHV. The zoo announced Samson survived a different strain of the same virus when he was 5 years old and was the first elephant clinically diagnosed with the infection at the time. News and analysis at townhall.com.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season and gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and whatever, just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
We are back on the High School Football Scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network. Phil Kornblut, David Shelton, and Josh Cohen. And we'll go back over all the scores in a moment. For those of you just joining us and you haven't heard everything, we've got every score in the state now in. But I want to get to Kevin Stellman, the voice of T.L. Hanna, because tough night for Kevin and for the Yellow Jackets, and falling to Dutch Fork 31-28. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I know it's a tough one. But tell us how it happened.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, I wouldn't get out of bed to call in just for anybody.
There you
okay? Let me just tell you that.
Let me ask you this. Are you wearing pajamas with tiger paws all over them?
No, I'm wearing my Red Sox pajamas, but I literally did get out of the bed and walk into the dining room on the other side of the house to call you, so I wouldn't disturb my wife. But back to the game at hand. It was really a really good night for the Yellow Jackets. Take away one play. Dutch Fork got the opening kickoff, went down, scored, made it 3-0 to go up 3-0. T.L. Hanna got the ensuing kickoff and took it down and was getting ready to score. They were on their 9-yard line, and the ball was punched away. Dutch Fork picked it up and returned it 91 yards to go up 10-0. And after that, it was just all night long. It was kind of back and forth. But much like this problem for the Yellow Jackets all season, the turnovers have been the bugaboo. Had one turnover, and like I said, it was a 91-yard touchdown return for the Dutch Fork. They didn't have a turnover. We had 407 yards rushing, which out of 11 games, we rushed over 400 yards. 12 games, we rushed over 400 yards 11 times. Katie Patterson, to stand up for the Jackets, he had 16 carries for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And at the very end of the game, Jackets got the ball back with 8 minutes to go, down 3, and was driving and literally ran the entire clock out on a 3 and 4 yard plays here and there. Got down to about the 20-yard line, was able to get maybe to the 15, and then going to kick the tying field goal to send it in the overtime. And the field goal was, from where we looked like it was blocked, but it was short. And he's got a good leg. So the Jackets come up short once again against the Silver Foxes. We're kind of bitten against them like a lot of teams. We're 0-3 against them, and just wasn't our night. But, one of those things, I guess.
Well, they are good, even when they don't look so good. As we were told earlier, that's 18 straight playoff road wins for Dutch Fork.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I tell you, they earned that one tonight. This is one that's going to stick with us Yellow Jackets for a long time, because I mean, if you saw the game, it was pretty one-sided, short of that turnover, and I mean, it's just a tough pill to swallow. Just tough.
Does Hannah have a lot coming back?
Oh yeah, we got a lot coming back. We've got about 125 in the program between varsity and TV, and during the playoffs, all those folks get brought up. So we have a big team, a lot coming back. The quarterback's back, the running back's back. A lot of our linemen are back. So we'll be right back here in this same place next year. But tonight sure does hurt. But congratulations to the Silver Fox as they move on, and I think they play either Clover or Gaffney next week. Whoever won that game. So
it's Gaffney.
Gaffney. Well, had we won, the Indians would have been coming to Anderson, but it looks like I guess that game's at Gaffney now next week for Dutch Fork. So
I would think so, and at least you got Westside still repping for Anderson for the Electric City. So
we got Westside still repping, and we got VHP still repping. So we got two teams because I think VHP defeated Pendleton tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And Wren lost to Daniel, so that takes care of. And we lost, so we got Westside and VHP still playing from Anderson County out of our 8 teams.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll go on and win the state championship.
Well, listen, we'll see you at Clemson tomorrow. Thank you for all your reports all season long. You're fantastic. We appreciate you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And
see you now. Bye-bye.
and I hope you go pee-pee in those Red Sox pajamas is what I hope overnight. That would be my wish for you. Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. I'm sure he's listening though.
Yeah. David?
Yeah, I'm here, but I really don't want to follow up PP in your Red Sox pajamas.
But what about touch on it again, especially the fact that Thomas Grant told us 18 consecutive road wins in the playoffs for Dutch Fork.
Yeah, I mean, they hadn't lost that many games in the playoffs under Tom Knott ever, road or home. But that is an impressive streak. And as we talked about on Sports Talk, I think Hannah needed this win more than Dutch Fork did. I mean, obviously you want to keep on winning, but Hannah is just now they're 0-3 against Dutch Fork in high-profile games, and Dutch Fork is they're. I know they'd like to play Gaffney. I know they're happy to be playing Gaffney because they still hurt from 2 years ago when they lost to Gaffney in the state championship game. But I think Dutch Fork's gonna beat Gaffney. To be honest with you, I told you back in September that I was not picking them to lose a game in November. So if they get beat, it'll be an upset in my mind.
Oh, I'm throwing the first salvo out there. David Shelton. All right, quick basketball update. UAB 64, Clemson 58, 7:21 to play. South Carolina 62, Virginia Tech 57, 8:31 to play. Let's go to Neil Fitzpatrick, high school sports report. And he was, looks like he was at a Skeeza game tonight. I'm guessing that you were at Hilton Head Christian Pinewood Prep, sir?
Yeah, that's correct, Phil, and it was a heck of a game. It was a 3A Skeeza final or semifinal, and Hilton Head Christian, they've been in the state championship game 1 year removed, but it was a heck of a game. I mean, Hilton Head Christian, Phil, they jumped out 14-3 in the first quarter, and then you saw a young Pinewood team come back and actually make the score 28-22. They ended up coming back even further after Hilton Head Christian got back in the lead, 11-point lead, 35-24. And then finally, Pinewood came back, made it 35-30, and then Hilton Head Christian showed why they've been to the state championship last year, is they put that one drive together, and they ended up winning it 42-30. Just a back-and-forth game, and I think both teams were exhausted. Neither team felt like either one of them played their best game, but you know how it goes, man. A win's a win.
Absolutely. What about the matchup with Wilson Hall for the championship next week?
Well, it's going to be exciting. That's the last game Hilton Head Christian lost was the second game of the year, 17-10 to Wilson Hall. So they're looking for a little bit of revenge. They mentioned that after the game, but as Coach Peduzzi said, they've got to play a lot better this week if they expect to win, their third state title in the last 4 years.
Neil, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Great hearing from you. Talk to you next week.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me, man, and good show.
Always. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go to Lou Bajak, State Newspaper, and thestate.com, and gogamecocks.com, and loubajak.com. He watched Irmo. You need a .com, Lou. You watched Irmo and Myrtle Beach tonight, and boy, Irmo, that offense is just cooking. I mean, just smoking right now.
Yeah, I mean, Myrtle Beach, it was back and forth, and Myrtle Beach got it to 34-24, and then they had the ball at the 12-yard line early in the fourth quarter. They got called for a holding call, backed them up. They tried a field goal, missed it, and then that was it. Irmo had put together a nice long drive. Jaden Allen Hendricks capped it off with a touchdown. Then they returned. Telvin Smith had his second special teams touchdown of the game, and then they had another touchdown. But yeah, four touchdowns of 50 yards or more in the game. Aaron Brand, AJ Brand, 3 TD passes, TD run. Allen Hendricks had 2 touchdown runs and a TD catch, 57-yarder. He's impressive coming out of the backfield. Defense had 5 sacks, and just now they get a matchup at James Island next week, and they lost to the Islanders last year in the playoffs.
Besides having a son who's a special quarterback, what has Coach Brand brought to the Irmo program in such a short amount of time that has turned them, into this, this offensive juggernaut, but just the overall improvement in the program as they move forward?
Just a swagger and a confidence. I mean, obviously he was very successful up in North Carolina, advanced and taking them to the state championships and that. And just it's taken a few years, probably longer than he thought, but he's done a good job. And they added Raymond Jennings, who was the head coach at Darlington last year. They brought him over to run the defense. And defense, like I said, came up big interception, had 5 sacks, and before tonight we're only giving up 5.9 points a game. So they really got the complete package. They're huge up front. Their offensive line is really strong. And like I said, so many weapons. And you add in Telvin Smith tonight, like I said, had the kickoff return, had the punt return, and also had a TD pass. And you got Donovan Murph, who's a good deep ball threat, and they're really tough to stop. So it should be an offensive show next week against James Island.
Not asking you your opinion on which one you think is better, but how do you compare Brand with the Richland Northeast quarterback Wilson?
That's a good question. I think they're very similar because they both can run and throw. I think Brand has a little bit more weapons around him, so he doesn't have to force things, and a lot more dependent, I think, on Wilson. But I think physically, Brand could. I know South Carolina's recruiting him on defense, so I think athletic-wise, it might be a little bigger that way. But I think they're really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if those are the 2 Shrine Bowl quarterbacks for next year.
Yeah, Shrine Bowl will be in good hands with those 2. I'd like to coach that Shrine Bowl team with those 2 quarterbacks. Before we let you go, you at all surprised about what Dutch Fork did? To be honest, I mean, you've seen them a lot, and they go up on the road. They've won 18. They had won 17 in a row on the road in the playoffs. They go make it 18 and beat a heck of a team up there that rushed for over 400 yards in the game, but they still managed to win the football game.
And they did it with a backup quarterback. John Hunt did not play tonight. I guess he tweaked his hamstring midweek, I was told. And Ethan Offing, who I think he started 3 or 4 games this year when Hunt went down. But Offing, I think he ran for 137, threw for 123. Big moment for a sophomore whose dad played for the Gamecocks, Andre Offing. But a big moment, and then they had the big blocked field goal to end it. I mean, that's huge. And they had a 90-yard touchdown return fumble as well. But, yeah, that's a huge win. And Dutch Fork and Gap next week in the 3rd round at Dutch Fork. It just worked out that Dutch Fork will be hosting the game. So it will be that should be an electric place to be next week.
Oh, Dutch Fork is hosting?
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the predetermined.
Yeah, predetermined, and they're
Uh-huh.
both number 2 seeds. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. David,
Yeah, so you get a home. Yeah.
do you get the feeling that God just likes Tom Knotts and they just smiles on the man? What? Not only does he go up and he wins 2 road games, now he gets to host a critical 3rd round game. David
might have fell asleep.
He might have. Your sweet tones might have put him under. Lou, we're going to let you run. We'll remind everybody to read your stuff at thestate.com and also go Gamecocks.com when you're covering the Gamecocks, but primarily thestate.com. Appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care. All right. You know what? We were talking and we were saying with Kevin that they'd be going to Gaffney, but he's right. Now I'm looking at the brackets and it's a predetermined home site if the teams are the same seed, and Dutch Fork gets that home game next week against Gaffney. So, boy, that place will be packed come next week. David's with us. David, I was asking you about the football gods smiling on Tom Knotts.
Yeah, and I had a great line, and I had my phone on mute because I was ordering at Sonic.
Oh, okay.
And but the line is, you said the football gods, and I said, yeah, well, Tom Knotts is the football god. So that's how,
he's smiling on himself.
That's how it works.
Yeah. And they're catching a break. I didn't realize. Did you realize they'd be hosting in the 3rd round?
Yeah. I read that on Twitter while I was driving. I probably shouldn't be.
No, you shouldn't. And we'll go ahead and let you order. We'll let you order your double cheeseburger with a large fry. We got to go to a break anyway, so hang on. David Shelton is ordering at a Sonic down in Charleston. And we're going to take a break here on the High School Football Scoreboard and come back with more in a moment. I'll update the basketball. Ooh, Clemson on a big run has taken a 72-67 lead on UAB, 3:04 to play. That's a 14-0 run for the Tigers. Meantime, USC is clinging. 65-64 lead on Virginia Tech with just under 5 to play. Back in a moment.
Investing can be like a puzzle. There's so many pieces to consider, and it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. Call 866-739-7064 or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn more about how we can help you take the first step towards reaching your financial goals. Securities offered through LPL Financial.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitment that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hosteller Brown. Do you know the difference between a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust? The difference could easily save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in long-term care costs. Visit lawyerlisa.com to schedule a consultation today.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Daddy, you need a trust.
Okay, back with you on the high school football scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Let's take you through the classifications once again. Let David kind of give an overview of tonight's scores via the classes. So in 5A, Dutch Fork 31, TL Hanna 28, Gaffney 24, Clover 12, J.O. Mann 17, Spartanburg 7, Hillcrest 27, Burns 24, White Knoll 50, Fort Dorchester 7, Sumter 27, Stratford 6, Somerville 34, Berkeley 14, and Carolina Forest 28, West Ashley 21. David, general thoughts?
Well, not any upsets there. I mean, I guess people would think that Dutch Fork was an upset, but I didn't. So I think it's kind of chalk, and we're getting down to the nitty gritty next week, and all the team. What I was just sitting here thinking, and I'm not predicting this by any means, but White Knoll and Dutch Fork play in the same region, but one's in the upper state and one's in the lower state. What if they both win and get to the state finals in a rematch of a 17-14 game, and they're literally miles apart?
Yeah.
But that could I'm not sure if it will, but it could be White Knoll Dutch Fork in Orangeburg on that December day, which would be really interesting. Because, the White Knoll connection, Coach Pelham was the defense coordinator for Tom Knott, and he took that job. And, there would just be a lot of really interesting storylines.
No question about it. Let's go to 4A. Greenville, 24, Greer, 21. Northwestern, 55, Greenwood, 7. Westside, 49, York, 13. Midland Valley, 24, South Point, 17. South Florence, 50. Richland Northeast, 20. Lancaster, 38. Lucy Beckham, 20. The Bruins have to be the story of the playoffs thus far. Maybe Dutch Fork. Irmo, 55. Myrtle Beach, 24. And James Island, 45. Hartsville, 21. David, your overview.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to the Irmo James Island matchup. I heard on a couple of the reports about Irmo's kick returns, and they're not going to get any kick returns next week, because I saw the James Island kicker tonight kick it through the goalpost from the 40. He kicked a 70-yard kickoff through the goalpost, and he is regularly deep in the end zone. He's got an incredible leg. So I don't think the special teams will be a big game, or at least kick return. But that will be an exciting game. Two really good teams that have kind of been aiming towards this. And then, the Lancaster thing is really, in many respects, is very cool what they've done. They go on the road and beat Ridgeview, and they go on the road and beat Lucy Beckham. Now they really have their challenge with the defending champs, undefeated South Florence. But 3 of the 4 lower state teams are undefeated going into the third round.
Let's go to 3A. Daniel, 35. Wren, 21. Chester, 58. Chapman, 24. Belton Honeypath, 44. Pendleton, 28. Clinton, 38. Broome, 7. Camden beat Dillon, 35-21. You got to talk about that. Gilbert, 49. Hanahan, 35. Brooklyn Casey, 34. Philip Simmons, 14. And you got to talk about Crestwood shutting out Buford, 44-0.
Yeah, Crestwood is kind of the Cinderella story. They're kind of like the Midland Valley of the lower state, where they just keep winning games with that great quarterback. I'm not shocked that they won tonight, but I did not see 44-0 coming. But that Camden game, I was on with Bobby Harton today here in Charleston, and he asked me about that game, and I kind of thought that Camden was going to beat Dillon. I just had a feeling. I said Camden will not be intimidated by going to Dillon. They played Dillon before. They beat Dillon before. This is not going to be like some wow factor, going to Dillon. They're not going to be intimidated, and they weren't. And, Camden has played really well late. They've been in the top 10 until they lost a few games, but now they're starting to put it all together, and it wouldn't shock me if they weren't back in the finals for a third straight year.
Real quick, give us a quick view on Clinton and Belton Honeypath next week.
That's going to be that could be a classic game. You know, the two old time programs. You know, they both can run the football. Clinton's got a little more balance on offense. They can throw it around a little bit, but it's going to be, if their defense can shut down Henderson from Belton Honeypot, they're going to win because and I tell you, and just jumping real quick, the Chester beating Chapman, the way they beat them kind of surprised me a little bit. That was a much wider margin than I would expect.
Yeah, 58-24. Okay, we'll check out 2A, 1A, and the SCISA finals with David, get his thoughts on that. Try and catch up with a few coaches here and there. And we're at that stage of the playoffs where the very popular segment, Shelton Says, returns tonight. So prepare yourself for that, David, in the final minutes tonight. Meantime, on the hardwood, 29 seconds to go in Asheville. Clemson leads UAB 75-73. 3:09 to go in Charlotte. USC 72. Virginia Tech 72. Gamecocks have taken 5 free throws. The Hokies have taken 20. And we'll be back.
It's November, the time to knock out that Christmas wish list. No better place to start than at Shooter's Choice on Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. Come and experience their new showroom. It's massive, it's awesome. And now, shopping is an easier experience for you. The selection of new firearms and accessories for your wish list, well, it couldn't be any better than it is right now at Shooter's Choice. Hey, you're not sure which hunting or home defense firearm is the best for you this holiday season? Let the experts at Shooter's Choice guide you to your best decision. See, their staff is hands-on with experience. They know guns, they hunt, they shoot. They can answer your questions on personal defense weapons, on rifles, pistols, and even shotguns. Plus, November brings you great promotions. Henry rifles, CVA rifles, Bergara rifles. They'll all be visiting to spice up your seasonal wish list with unbelievable discounts. Check out Shooter's Choice on Facebook for daily deals. And if you're undecided, then gift cards are perfect. They make great stocking stuffers. And listen, there's plenty of ammo in stock right now. And trust me, another ammo shortage is right around the corner. You want to get that taken care of. For your Christmas wish list, make your first choice. Your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
From a strain of an elephant virus known as EEHV. The zoo announced Samson survived a different strain of the same virus when he was 5 years old. This is SRN News.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, switching to MediShare saves about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the member satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. MediShare is a proven thing, too. For over 30 years, it's a Christian community of more than 400,000 members. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, you'll get another $150 savings. So I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes.
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2023 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. Well, maybe I am. If you're buying a diamond ring for your wife, it's not cool to be cheap. If you're buying airline tickets, it's very cool to be cheap and called Trip Amigo, where you can fly anywhere in the world and save up to 75% on over 500 airlines and 300,000 hotels. Plus, rental cars and vacation packages. Visit family, friends, or go on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation. Go ahead, be cheap. We have special fares we're not allowed to publish. When you book your airline reservations with Trip Amigo, you'll spend your travel money when you get there, not by getting there. Call Trip Amigo now and mention the travel code AMIGO and save even more. Call Trip Amigo now.
800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. That's 800-772-4165.
Have you filed for disability benefits but were denied by the Social Security Administration? Or do you need to apply and are overwhelmed with paperwork? Are you between the ages of 50 and 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury? Thousands of hardworking Americans are in your situation. They file for disability benefits and are unnecessarily denied their much-needed benefit check. Call now for a no-obligation, free evaluation. We can help you nearly double your chances of approval and get your benefit checks faster. We understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact. We'll share our insider expertise and help you get your disability claim filed and paid immediately. There is a time limit to apply, so call right now. Operators are standing by to help you.
800-721-7114. 800-721-7114. 800-721-7114. That's 800-721-7114.
We are back on the high school football scoreboard. Phil Kornblue, David Shelton, Josh Cohen. Tell you about Clemson basketball. Tigers hold on and get a couple of free throws late and beat UAB 77-76 up in Asheville. And Tigers go to 2-0 on the season. Heck of a win for them. They had a 5-point lead. They lost it. They were down, got fouled, hit the free throws. P.J. Hall was huge, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and Chase Hunter had 16 points along with 4 assists for the Tigers, and they win at 77-76. It was Hunter who hit the 2 free throws with 3 seconds to go that put the Tigers on top. Meantime, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, 77-all with 38 seconds to go in this one in Charlotte. The Gamecocks have 5 in double figures. Studi has 21. Mack has 17. Wright and Cooper 12. And Johnson has 11. And the Gamecocks are shooting the 3 well once again, 10 of 21. Big difference here. Virginia Tech, 18 of 22 from the line. The Gamecocks, 7 for 7 from the line. They've been whistled for 16 fouls. Virginia Tech for 11 fouls. Just saying. Obviously, the Gamecocks, David, are fouling more than the Hokies are, or the numbers wouldn't be so one-sided.
You know, I really don't care because the Gamecocks playing on a Friday night on high school football night, and the Tigers are preempting our show, and that makes me mad.
I understand that. I agree.
Either one of them. Nobody in Charleston has been able to hear their favorite high school prep writer tonight because they have to listen to Derek Scott and whatever the other guy's name is.
That'd be Casey Manning. They are getting us on the stream, however, the Chief Sports app and our various streams. So we have hundreds, if not thousands, of people listening in that way.
Not in Charleston.
No. They don't know how to use apps in Charleston.
No, they're all Carolina fans, so they're listening to the damn basketball game.
Okay. All right. Well, nothing we can do about it. Blame ESPN because they put these tournaments together so they can have some
Who plays
games.
college basketball on a Friday night during the high school playoffs? I mean, really?
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina and Clemson and Florida and
whole bunch of others.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man, I think the season starts too soon also.
Well, let's play the Super Bowl on Thursday night from now on.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Boy, you're really in a bad mood over this.
Oh, it bothered me when I heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah, me
when
too.
I
But
heard that we were getting...
just
that's okay.
You just have to roll with it, suck it up, do the best you can. Let's go to 2A. Where Abbeville beat Newberry 41-28. Silver Bluff over Fairfield Central 22-21. Strom Thurmond 53, Keenan 20. Gray Collegiate 62, Chesney 14. Andrew Jackson 51, Kingstree 20. Hampton County 48, Andrews 14. Oceanside Collegiate 49, Woodland nothing. And Barnwell 31, Marion 25. Your take?
That last score you just gave, Barnwell beating Marion, was a little bit of caught my attention a little bit because a lot of people thought Marion could win the lower state. Hampton County just continues to roll, and tip your hat to Oceanside. I mean, they've been very impressive in the playoffs, and they've got a lot of guys hurt. They're playing without their starting quarterback, so they're getting it done. So I think what we've got in the lower and upper state are really good, eight really good teams.
Why don't we hear as much angst towards Oceanside Collegiate as we do against Gray Collegiate?
Well, I don't know. Down here you could hear it.
Oh, but, okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think Gray is just, Oceanside's not really in your face about it. They still have trouble getting non-region games scheduled in football around here. They have to go play Sumter and South Florence and Marlboro County and people like that. But nobody's come. I've never heard anything remotely close to conference teams saying we're not going to play. Not going to play Oceanside.
I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. You probably did. The tweet by Kingstree coach Brian Smith, where he had a document showing the makeup of the enrollment at Gray Collegiate and how far away a number of the students travel to go to Gray Collegiate. Have you seen that document?
I have not, but I've seen some people comment on it. I don't think anybody's surprised in the Columbia area. That's why everybody's so mad. That's why this competitive balance issue, the high school league's trying to figure out a way to multiply or use multipliers and bump all these private schools up a class or all that. But there's one of those proposals is that they all ought to have their own championship, their own playoff. I don't know that would work. But whatever they come up with, those private schools and charter schools, they got lawyers, man. I'm just telling you, they got lawyers and they're ready to roll, and they got lobbyists in the state house, so it ain't going to be that easy.
All right, let's go to the 1A playoffs, David. And it was Christ Church 43, McBee 21, Blackville Hilda 28, Wagner Sally nothing, Southside Christian 21, Calhoun County 7, St. Joseph's 7, Louisville nothing. Johnsonville beat Lakeview 35-14, and thus the high school football season in Dillon County comes to a close, considering Latta, home of champions, bowed out last week, unfortunately, surprisingly, upsettingly. Lamar 23, Carvers Bay 20, Bamberg Earhart 41, East Clarendon 13, and Cross 28, Allendale Fairfax 14. What do you think?
Well, the score that got me was St. Joe's shutting out Louisville. Louisville has been an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they have just rolled through people. Now their region was not very strong, but I mean, they have really good skilled players. And for St. Joe's to pitch a shutout, I mean, I'll have to go and read some stuff online over the weekend. Maybe they had some turnovers or something, but to shut out Louisville is quite an accomplishment. I was very surprised when I heard you say that score earlier.
Yeah, because they have a big time offense, and to see them shut out, you're right. That was quite a surprise. Let's go to the Skeeza scores. Check them out. Skeeza scores. It is Hammond 33, Cardinal Newman 20 in 4A, Lawrence Manning 48, Porter-Gaud 20. In 3A, Wilson Hall 21, Florence Christian 7, Hilton Head Christian 42, Pinewood Prep 30. In 2A, Williamsburg Academy 41, Buford Academy 6, Bethesda Academy 32, Northside Christian 6. In 1A, Lee Academy 35, Thomas Hayward 19, Patrick Henry 17, Dorchester Academy 13. 8-man, Jefferson Davis 28, Richard Wynn 23. Do we ever get this confirmed? Holly Hill Academy 57, Wardlaw Academy 28.
Not confirmed, no.
Where did we see that?
Saw that on Max Preps on a comment.
Okay.
Not confirmed.
So we haven't found it anywhere else, but that's the score we're seeing out there, David, on Holly Hill and Wardlaw.
I think Holly Hill won. I don't know the score, but I'm fairly sure they won.
Okay, and let me mention before you break all that down, it's gone final. South Carolina beats Virginia Tech 79-77. So, David, Skeeza.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got defending champs in 4A in the finals. We got defending champs in 2A. We got defending champs in 1A. And we got the defending champs in 8-man. So not a lot of surprises there. There will be a new champion in 3 as Hilton Head Christian getting back to the finals, but they won it a couple years ago in 2A. So not a whole. There wasn't many upsets. Wasn't any upsets. I think maybe I thought Porter-Gaud had a shot to beat Lawrence Manning, but that didn't work out. You turn the ball over and you're deep in your own end, you're going to lose. And that quarterback, I did talk to a coach about the quarterback at Lawrence Manning, Tyler June, who is a South Carolina commitment for baseball. He's going to play baseball at South Carolina. But I was told that he's a really good high school quarterback, really good athlete, can run it and throw it and does a lot of things for him. So he's obviously a big key to what Lawrence Manning does offensively.
All right, let's hit the break. And after the break, I think we'll be joined by Greenville High coach Greg Porter. They had a big playoff win tonight as they advance.
That score was confirmed, by the way.
You did confirm
Yep,
it?
Scorebook Live.
Very good, very good. So I've exchanged a text message with Coach Porter, so I think we'll be able to grab him here coming up and talk about their win in the 4A playoff tonight over Greer. Greenville 24, Greer 21. Stay tuned for that. And David Says coming up in a moment.
Looking for a way to fight back against inflation? One viable way to help your money stay relevant during inflation is through investing. To a new investor, investing can feel like a puzzle. With so many pieces to consider, it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance along the way, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. When you're ready to find the pieces to your financial plan, call 866-739-7064 to speak with one of our specialists or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn about how we can help you identify the key pieces to your financial plans. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC, and not NCUA insured. Not guaranteed by credit union and may lose value.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Hello, friends. This is David Shelton, co-host of the Friday Night Scoreboard Show with Phil Kornblue. As many of you know my story, I've lost 2 sons to drug overdoses in the past 10 years. I want to tell you about my friends at Wake Up Carolina. Wake Up Carolina is a nonprofit recovery community organization dedicated to providing awareness, promoting education, and creating hope in recovery for our young adults, individuals, and families touched by substance use through collaborative community partnerships, trusted resources, and support services in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties. The organization relies on private donors and state funding to make sure all their resources are free and open to the public. Call them today if you know someone who needs assistance. That's wakeupcarolina.org. Phone number 843-972-8154. Don't wait until it's too late.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
All right, back on the high school scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. David Shelton with us, Josh Cohen, and love talking to coaches this time of the year because they know that when they get a call from us on the scoreboard this time of the year, something good has happened. We welcome in Coach Greg Porter from up at Greenville High. Red Raiders over Greer tonight, 24-21. Coach, thank you for the late night visit. Congratulations. How you feeling tonight?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Tell us about the win. 3 points. Don't know details. Did you pull it out at the end? Did you have to hold on to the end? How did it go down?
Well, I tell you what, it was a back and forth game. I tell you what, Greer came ready, and I tell you what, they have some excellent football players on their team. But it came down to the last 7 seconds, and our kicker, Lane Steck, was able to kick a field goal for us to put us up. And I tell you what, it was only 4 seconds left, and the defense did the rest. But it was a back and forth game. We was up one time, then they took the lead at half. Then we came back and tied it up. But it was an excellent game.
So, what'd you say to your kicker before he went out to kick it? I mean, was there a timeout? Did they try to freeze him? Did you have a chance to talk to him? How'd you approach it?
Well, you know, we practiced it all year, and we had an opportunity where just don't talk to the kicker. You know what he got to do. We had 2 timeouts. They had one, and they was able to try to freeze him. But he was prepared, and we just reminded everybody to stick to the fundamentals and don't let no one get through and block the kick. But they did a great job.
Yeah, they did their job. What about your offense tonight? Who stood out to you? What stood out to you about your offense?
Well, you know, we did a quarterback by committee today. You know, we had Bryson Drummond and we had Banks Bowden, who did a tremendous job. Both of them sharing the quarterback duties. Both of them bring different skill sets to the table. We just put our trust in our offensive line, and at times we took Mazio Bennett and put him at quarterback, running back, just move him around and find different ways to put the ball in his hand. And we just relied on our offensive line the second half. There were some series where we didn't throw a pass. We just kept running the ball, control the clock, and put ourselves in a position where we could get some points.
David Shelton, you got a question for the coach?
Yeah, Coach, we know everybody knows about the offensive weapons and your ability to score, but your defense was taking some lumps early in the year, but it seems like they've kind of found themselves lately. Could you just talk about the improvement they've made on the defensive side?
Well, you know, I have to give credit to the defensive staff, Coach Harris doing the defensive line. We have 2 North-South players on the defensive line beginning to grow and accept their responsibilities. Coach Corey Carson, who heads up my defense, has been doing a tremendous job, along with Josh Abrams, just handling the secondary, and Coach Simmons doing the outside linebacker. Those guys really put in a good game plan for the kids, and they you know, I tell you what, they work extremely hard at making it work, and the kids are buying into it. And we did some things different in practice that we thought that would help us as we got closer to the end of the season. And it's beginning to show a little bit more, and we're glad that we made some of those changes.
So, next up for you is Northwestern. How about the Trojans?
Yeah. And what can I say about them? Coach Paiswalker does a great job with them. We played them to a tooth and nail game last year in the 4th round, and we lost 28-33. Crucial turnovers that we made in the 4th quarter. We let up at one point in that game, 21-7. So, it was a learning experience, and here we are. We get a chance to try to right shit that was wrong, and we're a real excellent football team that's ranked number one right now in 4A, and probably throughout the state as well. But they a well coached team on both sides of the ball. I tell you what, he does a great job with those guys.
Yeah, they're playing great football, but you are too, and that should be a dandy next week. And we thank you so much for the time. Good luck moving forward. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Coach Greg Porter. That guy can coach, can he, David, from Hillcrest, where he won a state championship, beat Dutch Fork, as I recall, and now over at Greenville High, and, boy, turning out the talent over at Greenville High.
Yeah, he's got it rolling right now. Big challenge next week. Northwestern is going to test them, but they can do things offensively to put some points on the board, and as they did last year, and you heard him say the turnovers kind of hurt them and cost them that game. They're going to have to play mistake free. I mean, Northwestern is legitimate. I mean, they're a really good team. I was talking to a coach last week, and he said he thought they were the best team in the state, regardless of classification. He said Northwestern would win every classification. But, on a Friday night, anything can happen. You got to play well. You got to execute. You can't turn the ball over. You got to get stopped. You got to make kicks. You got to do all those things. So it'll be an interesting battle next week. There'll be a lot of offensive weapons on display in that Northwestern Greenville game.
All right, so let's go quickly here. Time is short. Let's do quick react. I'll give you the game. You give me the winner. No thought, just quick react, just like the old football drills where you had to quick react to the ball thrown right at your face. So, Dutch Fork, Gaffney.
I'm going Dutch Fork.
J.L. Mann, Hillcrest.
Woo! I'll go Hillcrest because I think that's a tough one. I'll go Hillcrest.
All right, no extra words. Just give me the winner. White Knoll, Sumter.
White Knoll.
Somerville, Carolina Forest.
Somerville.
4A. Greenville, Northwestern.
Northwestern.
West Side, Midland Valley.
Who's home?
Who's
the home team?
Give me a second. West Side, Midland Valley. I don't. Both of them were home tonight.
No extra words, Phil. Come on.
I don't know because I don't have
the bracket.
My bracket doesn't have the seed. It doesn't have numbers or anything. It just got the home. So Midland Valley was home. They've both been home all the way through.
Yeah.
But
okay, well, I'm going to take West Side.
Okay, and there's no predetermined home team there. I think it has to do with your seeding or whatever, and this particular bracket doesn't have it. Okay. Who'd you say, Midland Valley?
No, I said West Side.
Oh, West Side. I'm sorry. South Florence, Lancaster.
South Florence.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bruins. And, yeah, Irmo, James Island.
I'll probably change by next Friday, but I'm going to go James Island right now.
All right. 3A. It's my favorite part of the year. Daniel, Chester.
I'll go Daniel.
Belton, Honeypath, Clinton.
I'll go Clinton.
Camden, Gilbert.
I'll go Camden.
We haven't talked enough about Gilbert tonight. 49-35. Brooklyn, Casey, Crestwood.
I will say Brooklyn, Casey.
2A. Abbeville, Silver Bluff.
Abbeville.
Strom Thurmond, Gray Collegiate.
Gray.
Andrew Jackson, Hampton County.
Hampton County.
Ooh. Oceanside Collegiate and Barnwell.
Oceanside.
1A. Christchurch, Blackville, Hilda.
Christchurch.
Southside Christian and St. Joseph's.
Southside Christian. No, I'll go St. Joe's because they beat a really good team tonight.
All right. Johnsonville, Lamar.
I'll go Lamar.
Bamberg, Earhart, and Cross.
Oh, boy.
Hmm.
I'll go Cross in an upset.
Quickly, skis the title games. Hammond, Lawrence Manning.
Hammond.
Wilson Hall, Hilton Head Christian.
Hilton Head Christian.
Williamsburg Academy, Bethesda.
Williamsburg.
And Lee Academy, Patrick Henry.
I'll go Lee Academy.
And Jeff Davis, Holly Hill Academy.
Holly Hill.
David, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
We shall do it again next week, my friend.
Thanks for putting me on the spot there, brother.
And hopefully we'll ban all college basketball next Friday. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be.
All right. You have a great weekend, friend.
See you.
Take care. David Shelton, the best in the business, High School Sports Report, Post and Courier. Thank you, Josh Cohen. Thank you to all the coaches, the players, the refs, the fans, and everybody who participated tonight. Have a great night.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is